Okay, so we're going to work on our breathing today, and I'm going to walk you through it. What I touched on last week is feeling your back press into the earth when you inhale. And what it is you do have a group of muscles that help, that would move to help the ribs back here move, to help you take a deeper breath. Ideally, when you breathe, you should feel your abdomen move. For the abdominal breathing, you feel these muscles in the back move. You can see them because I'll press in with my hands. They're moving here. And then also these ribs side to side flare out. So for this, I want you to keep your knees bent. Because, and we'll do some stretching on the floors first to help open up our back, but we're going to keep our knees bent for the breathing part because I want your back to be flat against the floor to help you feel that activation start to happen. But a couple exercises on the floor that can help you be stretched out so you can breathe better. The first one is the pelvis tilts. So I'm going to lay down next to you guys. So the pelvis tilts is one I learned in PT, and I'll find my hip bones right here. Mine are kind of pokey. And the first thing I'll do is I will move my hips side to side. And so you can see how I'm doing that. And the idea is it's an up and down motion. So I drop one towards the earth and I lift the other one up. So it's an up and down. Yeah, up and down is better than saying side to side. Okay, so once I've done that 10 times, now the next one is I visualize my tailbone and the top of my sacrum, and I'm going to be tilting it this way. So you'll actually get more of a sway in the back and then less. And it doesn't need to be much of a tilt, but that's the best way I can describe for the direction. And what I do is I check. Is there one direction I can move easier than the other? So for instance, this tilting this way is easier than the other tilting left to right. So I'll do one and then the other. And originally after the surgery, I could barely tilt left to right at all. I lost that mobility because of scar tissue and stuff inside. Now the next one is that you imagine it's a bowl and you're going to rotate it clockwise and then counterclockwise, and it does take each of those motions. So I'll rotate here and then to the right and then back and then to the left, and it's very much a pelvis movement. And my legs, I'm able to pretty much keep my legs on the floor. I have to activate these muscles. If I don't, then my legs would be swirling around, but just enough I keep my feet flat on the floor and practice moving the pelvis in a circle. So this is a good way you would actually, I could feel the mobility of the socket in the joint of the femur against the hip as well. So that means I'm going to be circulating the fluid around those bones. And circulation of the fluid around the bones, the bursa is important because that keeps the bone and cartilage and everything healthy. So after you go in one direction, then go the other direction, circling. And I can tell I'm still tight more on the left side than I am on the right. So after doing that, then I'm going to take my right leg, cross it over my left, reach over, take my knee to the ground, and the opposite hand reach out. And with the opposite hand, yep, you got that right, and it's going to open up the shoulder nicely in the scapula. Now the shoulder, the scapula, they are separate from the spine. But you've got all these attachments from the shoulder that come over and attach to your ribs and your spine. And so when the spine is twisted like this and you reach out, then you can open up this whole area, which will also help you breathe deeper. So what I find is this stretches not only my back, it stretches my abdomen, and it stretches the attachments around the upper lungs. Okay, now come back to center. going to cross the other side. Take your hand to the knee. And, yep, you got it. Still getting that opening. And then counter. Darshan's going to go socialize. Now, an easy workout for the lower body that helps to engage through the psoas and up is a half bridge. It also is really good to massage the shoulders because of the pressure it puts on the shoulders. So I keep my hands side and I'll lift my pelvis up, and I'll even use my arms to help support me down, but I'll feel a nice stretch through here. The weight is on my shoulders, and then I can stretch through my arms and down. And I'll drop it down. You only need to hold it 4 seconds, 10 seconds. And what I learned in PT is if my hips were crooked, this was a good way to reset and get my hips to be straight again. So let's do that 2 more times. Lift up again. And back down. And then 1 more. And down. And then I'm just going to step my feet out into a comfortable position. And you notice after doing that, my back is now pressed against the ground. It is nice and flat. And so after doing those, that's a good way to get your low back to lay flat to start your breathing. If your neck feels a little crooked, you can lift your neck up this way because that's going to elongate your spine, and then drop back down, and that will pull your spine to its fullest elongation while you're laying on the floor. And then you're able to lay perfectly flat. So to start our breathing, let's put our hands right beneath our belly button. I rest the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth, right behind the teeth. I soften my eyes, soften my gaze. I allow a gentle smile. So you focus on relaxing the face. And the reason why you do that is if the face is relaxed, then it tells your body to relax. You're going to start releasing those hormones with a gentle smile. Then the next thing I do is I start to feel my breath under my hands. Can I breathe to my abdomen? As I inhale, do my hands move? I'm inhaling through the nose. You can exhale through the mouth or through the nose. So I notice when I have to talk about the meditation, I'll inhale through my nose. And exhale through my mouth. But if I were on my own, I would exhale through my nose. Either one is okay. And then we start to slow to the 5 count. So inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And again, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Let's breathe on our own, focusing all the way down to our abdomen. And as I'm breathing, I'm starting to feel my shoulders relax, letting my body sink into the earth. And I'm feeling my shoulders relax further against the earth. Now I'm moving my hands out to the ribs on the side. And as I inhale, I'm going to see if I can feel my ribs expand side to side. I have a very balloon-like feeling that it's filling front and side, stretching open. And as I focused on my sides, I noticed that I started to raise my chest more in a good way. My abdomen breathes, my ribs expand, and I can feel more air filling my rib cage. Now I'm going to let my hands fall, and it's difficult to get my fingers under me. It scrunches up my shoulders much. Down, I'm just going to thumbs underneath my body a little bit to help give me that little bit extra feedback. See if you can. And the muscles that move are higher up on the rib cage than where my thumbs are at. My thumbs are just. palms up because that will help my shoulders the most. And I'm going to focus on breathing front, back, left, and right. So you feel as if you're inflating a balloon in your lower abdomen. I've also heard it being described as inflating an inner tube, but there's this roundness that the whole lower body can expand. I got the roof of the mouth. And one more breath. And coming to external awareness. You can hug your knees to your chest to stretch. Which again rounds that low back just a little bit more. Extending out. When you're ready, roll to the side. Now there is a difference between lying on the left side versus lying on the right. If you lie to the right, which of course we're not right now, except for Judy, you will actually massage the liver because the liver is on the right side and all the weight falls onto the right side. And so for liver detoxing and cleansing, when people are working with that with diet, one of the things they'll say is lay on the right side for a period of time and let the weight of the organs compress it. Just as an FYI. So there's a difference between lying on the left and the right. And it has to do with which organs are on the left side versus the right side. And then when you're ready, go ahead. Let's roll to all fours. And we've been doing a lot of spine work, but this is just a reminder that you can do some gentle cat-cow, which is rounding the spine and then extending. Another way of waking up the spine if for some reason you're unable to do your spinal rolls. And then another direction you can do is circle. So watch, I'll go down to the side, round up, down to the side, and it's a torso movement, but moving the rib cage in another direction. One direction, and then I can go the other direction. Huh? Yes it is. A lot of these hula movements, and again, it's articulating the spine, it's articulating the joints. And then go ahead and come up to standing. And we're going to do one pull down the heavens. And then for a little energy work, we're going to close with rippling pond and opening to the sun for some smiling meditation, and then that will be our class for today. So, first thing with Smiling Heart is to smile. Imagine a warm sunshine coming down onto your chest. And begin, inhale, come up. Imagine your fingertips are stroking against a pond. doing 8 sets, so this is 3. And I'm only lifting as high as my shoulders. Keeping the elbows relaxed, the wrists relaxed. Learning how to move without raising my shoulders. And this is the last one. And now we're going to add opening to the sun 8 times, and then we'll close. So it's inhale, come up and open. Imagine warm sunshine coming into your heart, gathering it in. Rooting it into the body. Allow a smile. So again, inhale, come up. Open. Gathering in. That's 2. 3. 5. 6. 7. 8. Pulling down the heavens to close. Moving my feet, bringing them a little closer. Let's get the hands nice and warm. Just a little massage. And you rub the low back. This is good for your kidney chi. And warm the hands again. Give ourselves a chi facial. It keeps us young. So you feel the warmth of the hands. You pass the hands over the face. Imagine bathing it with just this warm, healthy energy. And I'll feel the heat from my hands. Last one, I wash all the way over the head. And the last one, you will both have to take off your glasses for this one. It's for the eyes. And what we're going to do, as the hands are nice and warm, we're going to put the heel of our hands over our eyes. We'll let out an audible sigh and relax our knees. 2 more. One more. And release. And that is the end of our Qigong today. So the visualization with the heel over the hands, I know I told both of you to take your glasses off, but just so you can see what I was doing is I actually put my hands right over the eye socket itself. Yep. And I imagine that heat from the hands, that I'm inhaling, pulling the warmth and the heat from the hands in through the eyes, and as I exhale, I imagine going all the way down my body. And that is a very traditional Qigong. So, any questions?
Thank you.
You are welcome.
When I'm breathing,
Yes.
I feel like I'm filling my head with air too.
You're supposed to be able to go from here to here. Head, I'm thinking that I don't know if you're hyperventilating a little bit, if it's a little too much here.
Like there's air coming up in my sides.
Does it feel relaxed? Or do
It
you,
makes
or
my shoulders a little tense.
Okay.
So I shouldn't go quite that far, I guess.
Yeah, it
It's
seems.
because to get to 5, I'm like up here at 4.
Okay. What I would do is I would stop at 4 then. Because, again, the idea is breathing to 4. And we didn't do the hold this time because we were working on other things. But the hold is holding the air there and letting it flush through.
Yeah.
But it's okay to start with, because I have another student who has been asthmatic all of her life. She can't do 5. because if she does, then this starts to happen. So it's okay. I've given her permission. It's okay to go to 3. And then work your way to 4, and then work your way to 5. 5 is ideal because it would be the 6 breaths a minute, which is really, really relaxing. But I've been doing this a long time, so 5 is easy for me. Now, that being said, what I've been told by someone in Western medicine, I didn't learn this from the Eastern, but it's believable and from their measurements. If you can only do 4, do a 5 exhale.
That's harder for me.
Is it? Okay.
Exhale
Exhale is
is harder.
harder.
It wants to go fast.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you the scientific reason, and then I will tell you to listen to your body. The reason why they say do the exhale a little bit longer is because they want you to fully empty your lungs and even. And there's a method in Chinese massage where we will actually physically pump the lungs. I've seen this in myofascial as well, but it's for a different reason. They pump to open up the fascia between each of the ribs so you can breathe deeper. And Chinese medicines will pump the lungs to help you take that full exhale, to take a full inhale. But if it's too, that's something we could play with, but if it's too difficult, it makes you more tense, hang out in the range that you're happy with for 3 months. And that's okay.
After I do feel those deep breaths,
Uh-huh.
I can just not breathe for a while. Are you like that? It's like there's so much oxygen in my body that I'm like,
What I do,
hang out.
well, honestly, when I teach, my mind is somewhere else afterwards. I know I don't do a relaxation breath every day. I have more of what's called the tidal breath, just a regular in and out. But I definitely feel different after this. And that's, I feel like I don't need to keep doing the deep breathing. I feel like I've stocked up. Yes. And the biggest thing I feel now is when I get to lie down like that is all my other muscles will relax. I've been holding on to. So, all right. Well, our boys.
I think the boys aren't done.
Yeah.